And do you solemnly swear that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the United States of America?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another question. Do you have two opposing teeth? Okay. Make a hole, please. Make a hole. Thank you.
They didn't have any.
Is designed around Harding's Manual of Arms. Okay, what that means is it's the School of the Soldier, and everything, because every Civil War soldier was right-handed. There was never a left-handed Civil War soldier, and it would have been my job to make sure that you didn't, because it's a safety feature. When you have somebody, lined up, Sam, come over here and face that way. Okay, when I was in the firing line, if I'm in the rear rank, I have to come up and over his right shoulder. And see that middle band? Okay, that has to be on his shoulder. Now, the muzzle of that gun is far enough away it's not going to hurt his face, and this is far enough away from his ear that it's not going to, incapacitate his hearing. So,
You hope.
well, if it's up here like this, then
Yeah.
yeah, he's going to know it was there.
Yeah.
So your ear's going to be ringing. But in the din of battle, that means when battle was happening, it was a very loud experience because each company had over 100 men and NCOs, and they were all shooting. Okay, so a lot of times gunpowder obscured the field, so you couldn't really see.
Oh, okay.
That's what the horn is for, infantry. If you see crossed sabers, then they were cavalry.
Okay.
Okay, and their striping would be yellow. Okay, if they were artillery, then they'd be cross cannons, and their striping would be red. So that's how you could tell the different, organizations. Okay, so while the captain's looking down, he knows that I'm with 3rd Maine Company A, and everybody in that line should be there. Now it's called a Kearney patch. And the reason being, when General Kearney was at Gettysburg, he was on a horseback and he could see the rebels coming and they were about to break the line, so he ran up and ordered the men to charge, and they all just stood there and said, "You're not my captain." And so that angered him. So he went back and made all of his men put patches on their hats, depending on what unit they were in.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So, pretty interesting, huh? Everything is around the musket, and because I'm right-handed, I have my cartridge box. Okay. Inside is a powder cartridge. And remember your two opposing teeth? I'm going to bite the end of that off. Okay. I'm going to pour that down the muzzle. There's a 9-step loading procedure that every man has to go through in order to load this. So you're going to pour it down there. And then you're going to, of course, a mini ball comes with that. This is a 600 grain lead ball that they're firing out of this. Now you see the end is concave. That means it's like a bowl. Okay. When that powder explodes and goes off, it flares the end of this out. This barrel is rifled. That means it was a huge innovation at the beginning of that period, because the Confederates had mostly smoothbore muskets, which meant that they were only valuable for about the length of this board. Whereas this, I can hit at 500 yards with this.
Whoa.
So that's why so many men had amputations, because when this slow-moving projectile would hit, the femur bone, it would shatter the whole thing. And because there was only one doctor per 1,000 men, it was quicker for him to amputate than it was to try to set it and fix it. So that's why you saw so many amputees during the war. Okay, so once the powder's down there and the ball's rammed down there, of course you have to take this out and you have to ram the ball in, okay? And then you pull this out. And again, you notice I'm doing it safely, okay? My hand's not over the barrel in case that goes
In
off.
case the gun goes off, you
Yeah,
shoot off his own
and then
gun.
you come back here. This is called the nipple of the musket, okay? What you have here is you have a percussion cap. This was also an innovation of the war that was pretty incredible. Inside this cap is a chemical charge. You put it on this, come back to the full cock. You ever heard the expression half cock? Mm-hmm. Well, never go into battle half cock, never go home half cock. So that's that was a safety feature of this weapon. Back at the full cock, I can pull this and it's going to go off. Half cock, it's not going on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the minute I pulled back to full cock, and it would come down and strike that percussion cap, a tiny spark would go off. This is an 1853 Enfield, which I prefer because the fire hole that goes down into the chamber is straight. Whereas on a Springfield, which was the most popular weapon of the day, the flash barrel, it would go down and then in at a 45. Well, the thing is, that would foul after so many shots. And then the guy would have to take a pick off his hat, and he'd have to sit there and do this while he's being fired at, and everything. So so it was, even though this was a huge, and good innovation of the war, it still took a soldier. He could get off 3 shots in 1 minute, and that's about the best that they could do.
So Samuel, that gun is very different
Yeah, I
than
was
the
wondering,
ones we've seen.
can you notice the differences between the ones we saw at the Revolutionary War encampment and this
Yeah,
one?
because those had actually a flash pan which couldn't get wet.
Right.
These you can somewhat get wet if you put the powder charge in there with the ball and ram it down, and you hold it like this. Well, because the ball is holding the powder in, it's not going to leak. And because you're holding it like this, that's not going to get wet. So, they could charge into battle that way. So now they're filling in their lines. Their battle line. This is what this is called, battle line. And you're going to hear each man count up. A private only had to learn. No, because they're going to be firing.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
They better do it quick.
So there was one about Ford India or something, like Ford Motor Company decided to go to Brazil to grow rubber trees so they could do their own thing.